Hey, what is it, guys? This is Thunderstruck115, and today we have the next episode in my Revisiting Zombies series. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the second zombies map ever, Verruckt. So, Noctur and Toten introduced zombies, and was loved by many. However, there was a problem. While it was all nice and fun, there wasn't much to it. It's just a nice little bonus mode, but because so many people loved it, either Treyarch decided, hey, people like this, let's make more maps. Or Activision said, yep, this is where the money's at, kiddo. And so for DLC 1, they made Verruckt. Now, something that this map really had to do was expand upon Noctur and Toten's formula, which I think it did a fairly good job at doing. Because Noct was bare bones. If we had another map that had a different layout but otherwise the exact same formula as Noct, people would get bored pretty quickly. So, Verruckt made plenty of additions. They revamped the zombie AI, they no longer have to completely stop to attack you, and they can attack you through the barriers, like that. So, overall, there's more to it. They added the power switch as an objective, which allows access to perks. Additionally, Verruckt has a fairly unique feature, and that is the split spawn room. You see, there are actually two spawn rooms. There's the German side, which is what I'm in, and there's the American side, which is over there. The reason why they're called German and American is because of the type of weapons. This side has the Kar 98 and the Gewehr 43, which are German weapons, and that side has the M1 Grand and the Springfield, which are American weapons. So, in solo, you'll randomly spawn on either side. And in two-player co-op, same thing, but you'll always be together. You'll either both spawn on the American side or both spawn on the German side. 3 and 4-player co-op is more interesting, though, because in 3-player co-op, 2 people will spawn on the American side, and the third player will spawn in on the German side. This is mainly because on the German side, you only have 3 doors to open to get to power, whereas on the American side, there's 5. And then, finally, with 4-player co-op, it's split half and half. So, upon turning on the power, that door will open, which will reunite the whole team. But, until then, each separate group has to survive on their own. They can't rely on each other. So, if both of y'all go down, well, you're shit out of luck. Unless somebody, by some miracle, is able to turn on the power, run all the way back across the map, and get you. But, because you bleed out faster in World at War, that usually doesn't happen. And yeah, I probably need to get out of here. In addition, this map added quite a few wall weapons, like the Gewehr, the M1 Grand, the MP40, the STG. Some of them were available in the box in Noctur and Toten, but now you can get them as wall weapons, and additionally a couple weapons like the Type 100 and the PPSH are now available through the mystery box. Another wall buy is the Bouncing Betty right there. You buy it once, and you get Bouncing Betties, 2 of them per round, which you can place down, and when zombies walk over them, they detonate because it's a proximity mine. Another thing that I really like about Verruckt is its atmosphere. Zombies has plenty of maps that I'd say have a creepy atmosphere, but there are no maps that are actually scary in my opinion, except for World at War Verruckt. The Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3 versions of Verruckt just kind of remove the creepy factor, mainly because Black Ops 3's art style kind of makes everything look plastic and fake. And in Black Ops 1 case, there's this rock music track from the World at War campaign that constantly plays in the background, which means during quiet moments, it kind of removes the creepy factor. While technically it does play in the World at War version, it's a much quieter, so you can still take everything in. So with Verruckt's atmosphere, you have stuff like water dripping, flies buzzing. Additionally, every now and then you'll hear like someone screaming, weeping, or insanely laughing. You'll hear a baby crying. But it's not up in your face. It's more of a psychological horror. It's off in the distance, so it's not like, oh, ha 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 ha, like trying to intimidate you. It's more like something off in the distance, something terrible. And we never quite know who it is that's laughing or why. Well, obviously, it's an insane asylum, so that might have something to do with it, but in my opinion, it creates a great atmosphere of psychological horror. But there is one aspect that, in my opinion, is the most creepy thing on World at War, and that are the radios when you turn on the power. I'll demonstrate in a second. Let me just kill these few zombies. I'm not sure if y'all will be able to hear them because I do have the game audio turned down a bit on OBS side. Like, I can hear it just fine, but because of the but I have in OBS Studio. I have the game audio, have the volume drop down a bit. But I'm gonna see if you can hear it. I'm gonna be quiet for a bit. Okay, I'm not sure if y'all were able to hear that, but just in case you couldn't, those are music radios that play for like about a minute or so after you turn the power on, and it plays this like 1940s European carnival music or something. And normally it would sound fine and upbeat, but in Verruckt, the radios just skip around a bit. The pitch just goes up and down like power fluctuating, if that makes sense. And in my opinion, I don't know what it is about that, but it creeps me the fuck out. And in my opinion, it's one of the things that really makes Verruckt scary. So, yeah, that's about it on the atmosphere. Although Black Ops, again, with the music in Black Ops 1 in the background kind of kills it, and then Black Ops 3 makes it even less scary. So, yeah. But besides that, we have some gameplay changes. So now that the power switch is activated, traps, perks are now available, as well as this door is now open. So, there are 4 perks in Verruckt. There's Juggernog, which increases my health from 100 to 250. Quick Revive, which allows me to revive teammates twice as fast. Double Tap, which gives me a 33% increase on my fire rate for every gun, except for ones that are semi-automatic. And finally, there's Speed Cola over there, which increases my reload speed by 50%. These will be later known as the Classic 4. Y'all are probably familiar with them. But compared to Noctur and Toten, that adds a lot more strategy. The perks are also fairly expensive, and because there's also so many more doors on this map, managing your points becomes essential, whereas you honestly barely needed to bother in Noct because there was only 3 doors, a couple of wall buys, and the mystery box. Additionally, the mystery box can now move around. So, if you hit the box too many times in one location, you can get the teddy bear, which, as a lot of you know, will cause the demonic announcer to laugh, and the box will just fly away and go to some other location. Now, I read somewhere that apparently in World at War Verruckt, the order of where the box moves is consistent, but I've never played World at War Verruckt that enough to really know what that order is, because usually I only hit the box but so many times simply because, well, there aren't any wonder weapons on this map besides the ray gun. So, yeah, once I get weapons that I think are good, then I'll just usually leave the box alone and go to train around the map. But yeah, future maps would change that, but yeah. This definitely adds a bit of a new mechanic because now maybe the box might be in the location you have access, but then it goes to a location that maybe you haven't accessed yet or is in the spot that's dangerous. Oh yeah, I need to buy ammo. Oh yeah, another interesting tidbit is that in Nocturne and Toten, the Panzer Shrek and the rifle grenades on the M1 Grand only had a maximum of 5 that you could hold, but in Verruckt that's been increased to 16. Additionally, for those wondering why I'm not getting Quick Revive, it's because in World at War, solo Quick Revive wasn't made a thing. The only effect it has is to increase revive speed of your teammates, but since obviously I don't have teammates because I'm playing solo, it's useless because the ability to revive yourself wasn't added until Black Ops 1. So yeah, I mean, like usually when I'm playing, if I'm set up, I'll grab it just because like why not? I don't really have anything else to spend on my money on at that point. But otherwise, I'll just keep my 1,500 points. Oh yeah, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but there's a demonic announcer now that will announce when you pick up power-ups. So max ammo, insta kill, nuke, double points, all that good stuff. Additionally, the double points and insta kill now have icons instead of just text to indicate that they are active. Now, you no longer know exactly how much time you have left on them, which does kind of suck a bit, but the icons just look so much cleaner, and I understand completely why they made that change. Also, another interesting tidbit, the nuke now gives you 400 points when you pick it up to every player, but in Noct it did not do that. Oh yeah! Something else! Verruckt Sprinters, something completely unique to this map. I just killed one a few seconds ago, but I'll let you know when I see another one. But on the World at War version of Verruckt, there are some zombies that just sprint insanely fast. So fast that unless you're sprinting with a weapon that isn't super heavy, like an LMG or a flamethrower, you will not be able to outrun the zombies. Instead, the zombie will be faster than you. Oh boy, what a joy. And it doesn't really help that Verruckt is kind of hard, mainly because of how tight it is. Now, in Black Ops 1 and World at War, it's manageable because the zombie AI is still at the point where it's still easier to cluster them up together and therefore makes it easier to train. But even so, if there's any significant amount of zombies in your way, like more than 2 I'd say, your ass better have the ability to kill them or you're not going to be able to get past them. I'm not sure if that's the Car 98 or if that's the Springfield, but either way, I don't want it. Oh, that was a Verruckt Sprinter I just killed, wasn't it? And of course, I always get the max ammo right after I buy ammo for my gun. Okay. You can tell which ones are the Verruckt Sprinters because that one is a Verruckt Sprinter. It's got its arms flapping about wildly on each side. Like, if you're not an experienced zombies player, like it might be harder to see, but as someone who knows almost all the zombie animations, it sticks out like a sore thumb to me. So yeah, there's that. Also, another interesting tidbit, or actually not really a tidbit, a feature. There's the traps. Actually, I'm gonna head over to the other side because I honestly think that one's a lot more effective. But I'm pretty sure y'all know what traps are. You activate them and it'll kill zombies. Now, they can also kill you if you're not careful. If you don't have Jug, it'll kill you instantly. If you do, they'll be like hits, if that makes sense, and 4 of them will down you with Jug. But yeah. They'll instantly kill any zombie though, no matter what round it is. Like, let's activate this bad boy right now. If I'm in here, so in this particular case, I am completely safe from any zombies out there while this is active, so the only ones I have to worry about are the ones that come up the stairs and through this barrier. When camping here with friends, it's very useful and honestly can be quite fun. I should start aiming for, like, headshots because, of course, you also need to pay attention to when it shuts off, otherwise you might down, because I almost went down there. Well, I didn't red screen, but still, that could have been bad. If there was an extra zombie or two, I probably would have died. So yeah, just keep that in mind. After that, the traps will have to cool down for a bit before you can use them again. Oh yeah, the other thing that kind of does infinite damage, but not really. You see, the flamethrower is a bit of a weird thing in World at War. Its damage scales with the round, so you can kill zombies with it no matter what round it is, but it takes a bit to kill them, so there's also that to consider. Like, it's weird to explain. Yeah, let me get some bouncing betties, set a couple of these bad boys up. You can set them up at choke points, but but the thing is, they'll trigger on the first zombie, and oftentimes there's like a lead zombie that sets it off, and then then the whole horde comes through, and then it feels like you just wasted them. But something I like to do with bouncing betties is to sort of create a buffer zone with them. Or basically, if I get into a spot of trouble, just back up to where that is, and a bunch of them will go off at once. Of course, I usually stack up a whole bunch of them, more than just 2, and doing so proves a lot more effective than what I just showed off there. But yeah. Overall, I wouldn't say Verruckt is my favorite map in Zombies. In fact, it's quite towards the bottom of the list, but not because it's a bad map, it's just very dated. It doesn't feel like there's a lot to it. Like, actually, like, at this point, like, for example, where I'm at this point, all I need to do is maybe hit the box for some better guns and get quick revive. And since I'm on solo, I don't even need to get quick revive. So yeah, Verruckt, creepiest map in all of Zombies in my opinion. It's fun, but only really in short bursts. Like, it's not something I play often because it does get boring pretty quickly. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I haven't talked about in this map? Oh, there's this. Yeah. You hear like a whirring sound and then a scream if you hold X on that. Pretty cool. Oh yeah, there is the music Easter egg. Unlike the one in Nocturne and Toten, if you hold X, F, or square on that left toilet and flush it 3 times, you'll get the song "Lullaby for a Dead Man." Not my favorite Easter egg song, but it's still a really good one. Also, just an interesting fun fact: up until the end of Black Ops 1, the Game Over song on every Zombies map was actually the Easter egg song for the next map, with the exception of those that weren't made by Treyarch. Like, for example, in Kino der Toten, the endgame song was Abracadabra from Ascension instead of Won't Back Down from 5, but that's because Won't Back Down was made by Eminem and not Treyarch. But yeah, it plays that, and like like Lullaby for a Dead Man was the endgame song on Nocturne Toten, and now it's an Easter egg song here. The song The One is the endgame song for Verruckt, and it's the Easter egg song on Shi no Numa. Now, I'm not going to play the song because I don't want this video to get copyrighted. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, another thing. The characters you play as, they're still 4 Marines, but they now have voice lines. They're not the characters we all know and love, and in Black Ops 1, Black Ops 3, they get replaced by the Ultimus crew. But it's cool that these 4 unnamed Marines actually have voice lines in this map. Now, I don't know who these Marines are. Like, supposedly, according to the timeline, one of them is, like, John Banana, another one's named Smokey. Apparently, one of these is actually Tank Dempsey, but I can't tell you for the life of me which one it is, because after listening to all the voice quotes from each of them, none of them sound like Dempsey. So, yeah. Besides that, I really don't think there's anything else to talk about on this map, because I think I've basically hit all the major points. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video off here, because although I'm still not dead, I pretty much covered all the topics on Verruckt that I wanted to, so I don't want to burden y'all with like an extra like half hour of gameplay or so, because I'm sure what y'all came here for was to hear me talk about the map and not so much to watch me play the map. So I don't want to make this video an hour long when I only have, well, I guess there's the solution right there. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more, and also tell me what you think of Verruckt. That's it. Peace!